Today's entrepreneur is Alice Cheng. She is the founder of Culinary Agents. Our judges today, Matt Witheiler. He is with Flybridge Capital. Peter Shankman, investor, angel investor, and author of Zombie Loyalists, soon to be coming out. And last but not least, Jack Hidary. He is the former CEO of Dice.com. So without further ado, we do want to show you the pitch. I'm here with Alice Cheng. She is the founder of Culinary Agents. Alice, what's the idea?
Well, Culinary Agents is a professional networking and job matching website designed specifically for the food, beverage, hospitality industry. Unlike other job boards, we focus on career development and mentorship and partner with leaders from across culinary, pastry, wine, beverage, operations, service to really help bring the community together for a professional level.
All right, so it sounds like you are saving these professional organizations time and money. No doubt the judges are going to have some follow-up questions. Let's hear what they have to say. On that note, Matt, we start with you. What did you think?
I thought it was a great pitch, actually, and definitely solving a need that I think all of us see just with recruiting in general. And so applying it specifically to the restaurant vertical is really unique. I think the question I have for you is, as I think about the market opportunity here, you think about a metro area like New York. I think the number is 25,000 restaurants in New York City. And when you think about some of your pricing model and how much you can actually charge per job, I think your number is like $15. So when you multiply all that out, it's like a $10 million market here in Metro New York. How big can this business be?
Well, that's a great question. I think in general, you should look at it as we run a SaaS marketplace that services both sides. So we have the people side, the talent, and then we have the business side, which are restaurants, caterers, hotels, et cetera, which has many different silos. I would say, our base pricing is exactly that. It's base, and because we're a technology-driven organization, we have the ability to offer additional features and functions to allow people to select what fits best into what they need.
Peter.
I like the concept. It's funny that there really is a need for everything in every industry. My question is, how are there recruiters who are using this? There's primarily restaurants. How are you getting the word out to these restaurants who just go through massive change of people almost every day?
Yeah. Well, there is a massive need. We are largely word of mouth right now. We're in 27 cities. Our happy clients talk to other folks, and word of mouth is doing really well for us. We also work with organizations and schools and really kind of touch upon every level of the pipeline of supply chain of talent.
Jack.
Well, as seeing the experience and the growth of Dice.com, the job board for the IT sector, which I saw firsthand, I'm a big believer in industry-specific job boards. I think you're on a great pathway. My question is, to get to scale, that's really the critical question. Do you want to continue to go after smaller restaurants and smaller chains, or do you want to go after the larger chains, the ones who have 1,000, 2,000 types of outlets out there? What's your feeling about how to get to those people? Do you have to have a sales force, or you can go online only to attract those kind of customers?
Well, wait, that's a great question. We actually do a hybrid of both, and my feeling going forward is, because we've been extremely capital efficient, we have the ability to leverage kind of pockets of relationships that we've developed in our 27 cities and really go deeper in certain cities that are more dense with culinary kind of talent and restaurants and businesses.
Alice, as far as the metrics go, how much time and how much money are you saving the corporations who are the ones paying you, right? If I'm a job seeker, it's free.
Correct.
Okay. And time and money saved?
Well, right now at our first pass, we're about a year and a half old. We know that we're saving larger restaurant groups, typically one full-time headcount, several $1,000s a month, and simply from their experimentation in the past with boards that don't deem anything meaningful, but just need to cover their basis.
So, Matt, based on what you've heard, would you introduce Alice to your investing partners? Why or why not?
Yeah, I think I would. I think that the industry has shown that in specific verticals, if you can create a very deep vertical solution, jobs included, that you can build interesting, meaningful businesses and also be attractive to acquirers. And so I would introduce Alice to the rest of the team at Flybridge.
What is your number one concern so far, if you can share it?
Yeah, my biggest concern, which is why I asked the question, is around how big of a market this can be. If you think of New York as a $10 million market, and that's going to be the largest metro in all of the United States, how much revenue is there out there? But I'd love to dive into that more.
Peter.
I like what I heard. I would make some introductions. When I founded Help a Reporter Out, it was specifically a vertical for journalists and sources. And so if you put as long as you don't try to become everything to everybody, focus on what you're good at, do it. And I see it in multiple cities. I mean, I see it in multiple countries as well. If you look at Dubai, they're adding like 6 restaurants a day, I think.
Right.
And then, so, I think this can grow. I would make some introductions. My biggest fear is, I would make some introductions. My biggest fear, again, is just how you're going to get that word out. It's a massive, massive industry that you're attempting to tackle.
And Jack, what's your take?
Well, I like the concept. I believe in the vertical job board, but I think you really have to get to the core of the issue, which is the high turnover. If you can also help these restaurants address the turnover issue with some better HR techniques, I think you're going to be more valuable to them and you could charge more money. What I would suggest is also, and I think you're on the way to do this, not just focus on standalone restaurants, but also hotel chains where you can fill slots across the hotel going into the entire hospitality sector, not just the restaurant sector. My feeling is the restaurant is a little too small. I'd rather see you go into hospitality overall. But yes, on that basis, I would recommend it to my team.
That's some pretty good feedback there. Thank you, Matt, Peter, Jack. Alice, what do you think?
I think they're great.
Okay. Good feedback.
You would recommend us to your team.
Thank you very much. A great pitch. Thank you, judges. We have a quick break to take. We are back in just 2 minutes.